Hello everybody and welcome back to another daily update. My name is Akash and today we're going to be taking a look at what's happening with the markets and discuss the upcoming events. Right, so you can give me a follow on Twitter at Mangyako with the zero at the end. Click this link here. It will take you to my YouTube channel. So make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any updates. Right, so let's take a look at Bitcoin. Right, my thesis for Bitcoin has kind of pretty much been the same. There's not a lot to add. Right, so yeah, ever since we kind of swept the highs formed here on for 30th November, price has been on a downtrend. But the only kind of solace that I have right now is that if this uptrend continues to hold, like this is there was a low here, higher low, higher low. We've been forming higher highs and higher lows, so which is a good sign that we're in an uptrend. Right? The only kind of thing I don't want to happen is like if we kind of break down below this low here at 16.1k, then all of this kind of goes to shit and we will continue to drop. Right? I don't know where this, just a sec. There it is. Right, so as you can see, the volume point of control for the range extending from November 4th to December 8th. The highest volume traded between these two dates is basically at 16,545. So if we get a dip down, this looks an awful lot like a continuation pattern on a lower time frame, with this being the flagpole and this being the flag. So expect two more of these candles here, which will push the price down to 16.5k, and that's where opening long positions will be better. So that's what this arrow indicates, and I've had this for quite some time now. I think there's one here. Yep, so the plan has pretty much been the same. The only error was not closing altcoins. I expected altcoins to remain strong, which is why you can see in my copy trading account, there's a huge underwater position here for flow. But that doesn't mean like it's fine. Things are looking pretty good. We are almost close to forming a local bottom here, producing third higher low, and reversing. Right, the target pretty much remains the same, which is 19.2k, which is the 2022 volume point of control, making it an extremely hard level to overcome. Right, so I'm expecting this to be like an explosive move, kind of similar to what happened here or on July 2013. And the reason for that is pretty much we have quite a few interesting uh, stuff happening here next week. As I pointed out here, uh, tomorrow there's a PPI announcement. On top of that, we have core inflation announcement, and then December 15th, which is going to be extremely important. I think until this particular point, we're probably going to remain like less volatile. So that's what I'm expecting. A spike in volatility come in around the midweek of December or just before that. So basically, like another 5 days before we see an explosive move. So to update my stance on Bitcoin, right? So this is clearly a continuation pattern. We'll see something like this here again, pushing Bitcoin down to this level, which will, uh, utilize this order block, bullish order block that is present here. So we kind of bounce here, get a lot of uh, buyers coming in here, and eventually go up to 19.2k. That's what I'm expecting for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at what's happening with Ethereum. Yeah, so Ethereum's plan has pretty much remained the same, but the only problem here is that we might come as low as 1150, right? The we've swept the Monday's low, previous Monday's low, and the Monday's high. There's quite a bit of liquidity resting above these highs. So if Bitcoin price does drop down to 16.4k, then you kind of can expect it to come down here. I'm not sure if we get to sweep this. There's quite a nice consolidation of candlesticks present here. So we might kind of form another equal low at 1150. So that's basically a good place to buy. And if you look at this particular thing, right, it kind of coincides well with this declining trend line that I've drawn here. So in a way, 1150 seems like a good place to accumulate ETH for long positions, right? As for the targets, uh, I think 1500 is a pretty good place to book profits. Uh, Technically, we don't have a lot of liquidity here, so 1545 is the highest level I think Ethereum is going to go. And I think beyond that would be unlikely to sustain. So that's basically my whole outlook on Ethereum as well. Let's take a quick look at XRP and then we can jump down to the lower time frame for Bitcoin. Okay, so the 0.381, 0.380 resistance level is kind of in play right now. As you can see, like if you look at the 1 day time frame here for XRP, we had quite a bit of struggle back in June all the way up to September, and then finally on September 2nd, I believe, no, September 19th is when we broke out. Uh, 20th September is when we broke out, and there was a massive explosion, right? And now the price is consolidating again in the same particular region. As for the downside for XRP, there's quite a bit of lows here, and there's an FVG here extending from this point to this point. So I believe we will get something like this here for XRP before we actually go up to 0.448, which is a decent resistance level. But in my opinion, I think we go all the way up to 0.51, 0.506. So yeah, that's basically the whole plan for XRP. Ideally, see, even if we don't produce a bounce around this level, there's always a chance we could form a double bottom around 0.35. So anywhere from 0.36, 368 to 0.349 seems like a good place to accumulate XRP for the next leg up, which could potentially propel it all the way up to 0.51 or 0.506. So that's what's happening with the top three cryptocurrencies. Let's take a closer look at Bitcoin here on a 10-minute chart. Could be any chart, any time frame, 5, 15, whatever. I think 10-minute is good. Uh, yeah, so it looks an awful lot like an accumulation pattern here, Wyckoff accumulation. So the spring was pretty good. Would have been amazing if I was on my screen when this happened. I would have easily longed Bitcoin, at least for a scalp long, right? So even now, I think we're in an okay place. Even if you do long this here, with the stop losses down here, I think a quick run up to 16, roughly 1700 seems like a good place with a good RR. But if you kind of want to play it a little risky, you could potentially put your stop losses down here. Again, like I mentioned, it's a little risky, so I think skipping your stop loss here would be good. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting from Bitcoin on a lower time frame scalping thing. Might scalp on my copy trading accounts here. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. So I'm gonna open a small scalp long position for Bitcoin. All right, cool. It's open. Um, so that's basically what I'm expecting from Bitcoin. A minor run up to 17K, followed by a drop all the way down to 16.4K, which coincides with the volume point of control that I just discussed here for Bitcoin at 16.5K. Right, so this is done. Let me just take this out. Since we actually collected liquidity, let me just take that off. Yeah, I think the next level is really interesting here for Bitcoin. So that basically concludes my outlook on the market. As for the open positions here on flow, I think I'm just gonna hold it because closing this at such a massive loss doesn't seem like a good way to grow the account. And like honestly, if you look at the forward time frame, right, there is on a 1 day time frame, there is a massive bullish divergence that is developing. So when it does break out, it's going to be an explosive move. So I'm not going to be closing my flow long. I'm just going to let it remain open. I kind of double down on flow. As you can see, the position is $1,000 right now, notional size. So yeah, the outlook on flow pretty much remains the same. There's no change. And that basically concludes my video. If you enjoy this analysis of the markets, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And you can give me a follow on Twitter at Mangeko with a zero at the end. That's it. Have a great day. Peace.